Hi, soul searchers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am excited to be here with Lori Wheeler, the owner of Wellness Within. Lori is one of our incredible soul search practitioners. She is a transformational holistic practitioner of over 25 years, trained in homeopathy and soul regression hypnotherapy. She works as an energy receptor and translator, which entails medical intuition, channeling, speaking light language, and as a shamanic practitioner. Working with the codes of light and sacred geometry, Lori transmits, activates, and recalibrates dormant DNA in order to raise the soul's vibration. So she is a very multi-talented and multifaceted practitioner, healer, spiritual teacher, and guide. And I'm really excited to welcome you here today with us, Lori.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me today. And I look forward to talking and sharing about these retreats that are going to be so fantastic.
Amazing. And so, yes, exactly. You have two retreats coming up this summer, one in Glastonbury and the second one back to back. And then they can actually be taken as one long retreat in southern France. So, Lori, tell us, what is the inspiration for each of these retreats?
Well, the inspiration is that actually it wasn't my own thinking. It's divine, intervention. I'll say that the guides and masters have spoken to me and asked if I would put this together. I used to do retreats back in, I think it was like 2009, and then I stopped for quite a while. And now I've been asked to, pick it back up again. And so when I asked, and this was up in Mount Shasta last year, that they actually came and spoke to me about this. And so I asked, well, where would you like me to go? Where would you like people to learn more about what is calling to them and what needs to come forward for them in these sacred lands? And so Glastonbury came up, or ancient Avalon, and then of course south of France and the Magdalene footpath. So we're excited to share that. They are back to back. You can do one or the other or both, but it's going to be a really great, exciting time.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And what are the dates for each one?
Oh my goodness, I know you were going to ask me that. I think it's on the website, but I think it's the 14th through 19th of August, and then the 21st through the 29th in France. But best to go to the website, because I've got a few retreats going on and the numbers kind of get, intermingled there. Yeah.
Exactly. So everyone can visit wellnesswithin.net to be able to see your full retreat schedule. And you can also go to Lori's page on Soul Search and connect to her website from there as well. You'll be able to see all of the details. You have very full itineraries for each of these retreats, and they look amazing. And so let's get into Glastonbury. You mentioned Avalon. So what is the importance of Glastonbury and Avalon for all of us today?
Well, this is going to be, it's a great immersion into Avalon. Avalon being a very magical time back in history. And, you had the Druids, and you had the Cathars, and you have many ancient people that you had Merlin, the Knights of the Round Table and King Arthur, Joseph of Arimathea, and the Holy Grail. I mean, there's so much rich, sacred information and wisdom that is held there. And oftentimes, we can connect during, some type of journey or meditation. But I really feel like there's nothing like actually experiencing the rich energy that occurs when you're in a place that can take you into another time. And I've had these experiences before in multi places, and I've done a lot of travels all over the US and outside of the US. And I really can speak firsthand that this is what really occurs when you're in a place, even spontaneously, even if you're not looking for it. You can have such an energetic response that you can reconnect to a prior time, and there's wisdom in that prior time for you, that it opens up and it shares with you, the deep root that that come from the cosmos that bring in this information and this connection and awakens you. It's like waking you up out of a sleeping dormant time, and it brings you into that it whispers in your ear what you need to know about that specifically. It alivens your dharma, your capabilities, maybe from that time. It gives you an understanding of why you're here in this time, also connecting the dots for us.
And so what can people expect when they go to Glastonbury with you? What are some of the ancient sites that you all will be visiting?
Wow. Well, we've got really a chock-filled itinerary for the few days that we are there. So the first day we're going to go to 7 chakras of Glastonbury, and I'm not going to give it all away, but we're going to go to each one. They're all each one is connected in these particular sites, and they're very close. But we're going to kind of open that up to the 7 chakras. And then we're going to go on and we're going to go to Cornwall, and we're going to go to the different, we'll be involved with the different ley lines of Michael. We will be going to, see, where else will we be going to? I'm trying to think of the itinerary off the top of my head. We'll be going to the crop circles of Marlborough, and this is a very good time of year where the crop circles actually show up. And because they're a language and I'm able to read a transmission of energy and communication, we'll be able to open those up, those crop circles, and understand, what do they have to share with us? Who are they that are, placing them there? What are they about? I mean, I don't know about you, but I am super interested in wanting to know more about them. And so we'll go to we'll go to the Tor and the Chalice Well, of course, and all those very special sites. But it is going to be, a time that we're going to go back and look at Merlin. What was Merlin's role at that time with King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table? And what does that have to do with history today? And Merlin is not just a singular person that was at that time. Merlin has multi faces. He's very connected actually to some of the Egyptian deities, and there's a whole history, and I don't really want to go into it too much and give it all away, but, because there's hidden mysteries, and I want others to find out what these mysteries are all about and how they really speak to them. So we've got some really amazing things happening there in Avalon.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is
Besides
exciting.
beautiful landscape and really just a sweet place to be in the heart of the earth. And so it's going to immerse us and open our heart into that
Mm.
wonderful, powerful energy.
So that is powerful. It is going to be an opportunity for everyone who is joining to really connect with that part of themselves that have been in Avalon. Even if we don't, in this timeline, remember that this is our time to reconnect and reawaken.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's very connected to ancient Atlantis. So I'm sure that may even open up for some folks. There are the stones of Avebury also, which is sort of the I want to say the seat of the Druids and their information and what they were all about. If people don't know about them, I've learned a lot about the Druids over time. And I really want that to kind of come alive too, because I think, they carry a lot of mystery, and they also have some negative connotation attached to certain happenings. And so I think, people, if they're into, I don't know what we'll say, the magic, they're going to open up to this also during this time. So, each person that's coming is it's not going to be the same for everybody. I mean, yes, we'll all go to the same place like Stonehenge and that, but it's going to talk to each person in a different way. Each person's going to walk away with a rich piece, and we will be doing shamanic journeys. We will be doing, we'll open with some light language also, which will open and help us to receive that which is communicating to us. We will do some guided hypnotic meditations. And then we have also a guide that's going to bring in the rich history of the areas also. And this is going to be really intriguing because I don't know all the rich history. I really feel like you have to live there to really understand that. And so this person is also going to bring this forward, which will be quite interesting to hear what he has to say. So looking forward to that. It's going to be powerful and a great spiritual experience.
Definitely. It sounds like it's going to be an incredibly transformative journey for everyone. And after this experience in Glastonbury, you're then taking everyone to southern France.
Right.
And that's exciting. So why southern France? What are the mysteries held there? What can people expect from this part of the retreat?
Well, sometimes I even want to say that I have a hard time even speaking about it because it brings up such a strong energetic response for me. And that may just be the divine feminine as it's, really knocking at our door and asking us to come in and learn what are the polarities of the masculine and feminine. What does Mary Magdalene, and which is connected to Sophia, which is connected to Isis, and all these deep, rich connections. What do they want to share with us at this time? And a lot of it is about the sacred union of the masculine and feminine, or Yeshua, Jesus, and Mary Magdalene. But she was a part of the secret priestess of Isis. And so she's going to share a lot of rich information. But what's really interesting in southern France is that there is still an old experience going on there, old codes and symbols that really are not speaking the real truth. And it's the truth is hidden in certain other codes and symbols that are there. And so the mystery that is waiting to reveal itself for us. But there's like I was saying, there's a lot of old encoded secrets there, and old distortions, I'll say, that are really not what the truth is. And so she's waiting to reveal to each person and kind of wake that up in each of us. Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a deep connection with Mary Magdalene and the divine feminine. Where are some of the sites that you'll be visiting?
Oh, wow. So we're going to go to Carcassonne, and there's a lot of stories in that old town, in the cobbled streets, and it's a beautiful little old town. We're going to go to where Mary Magdalene lived, actually, and we'll actually visit her crypt where her skull is kept. And there's going to be rich energy there for us, which will speak to each one of us differently. But what does it have to share with each person personally? I know it will talk to me about certain things. I've actually been hearing downloads as I've been connecting with all of this and writing it up and putting it on the web and that. But each person that's going to come, somebody may have had a prior time there. Maybe they're part of the old Gnostics, or maybe they're part of the Cathars, or that time where the Cathars were held in a fortress. They were provided so that they weren't part of the Inquisition then. Eventually they did come to their demise, but they held the actual Christian belief and teachings from Mary. So when she came from after the crucifixion of Jesus, and she came to south of France, we're going to actually take a trip by boat and see what that experience was for her coming up on the shores of France. And then she was bringing the information and started the teachings of Christianity in France and England, actually. So they're kind of connected, England and France. And so we want to expose some of that too. We're also going to go to Chateau. There's a lot of secrets held there. Oh my gosh. And I can't even begin to tell anybody what those secrets are, because that's the mystery that's being held there. So I want everybody to get exposed to that too. And we're going to stay in, and I hope I pronounced this right, Les Ducs des Jours. And this is an old castle that's been turned into a very eloquent hotel, a luxurious hotel. It's absolutely beautiful, but it still carries that real old castle feeling. And so this is a place that people are just waiting to get into. And so I'm happy to have this part of the itinerary too. And then of course, you really have your French cuisine and just the style, the lifestyle of the French, and the way everything is a very more calm, relaxed way of being, their lifestyle. And so I'm hoping some of this will rub off a little too, and that we can get to experience that feeling with some deep meditational time and journaling and that. So it's going to be an exquisite experience and very holy and sacred land experience.
So both of these experiences are, really excursions and expeditions to holy lands, and that's what's exciting. And it's so interesting. You have Avalon, the time of King Arthur and Merlin and the Druids visiting crop circles, and then over to France, really connecting with the time of Mary Magdalene, early Christian teachings, the Cathars. So really profound times in history for us, and profound times for us to reconnect to.
Yeah, absolutely. I really believe that they are talking to us now, because this is where our whole earth and our whole society are moving forward out of the 3D and moving into the higher frequencies and different layers of the dimensions. And so these are aspects that we already know of. But like when we wake up in the morning, and you're kind of coming out of the dreamy state and coming into what I call your reality, your physical reality. This is going to bring you into a new reality of your own self, of this divine nature that we really carry within, that many of us have not been exposed to in our world right now until this time, as it comes alive and it speaks to us. And I don't know for many, but it really gives me a sense of who I am in this world when I connect into the divine feminine. And this is not just for women, but this is for men also, because we've lived in such a time of control and the negative polarity of the masculine. And we all have all four sides, the negative and positive of the masculine and feminine. We carry all of it. But as I connect and as I see and hear others connect, it gives us our I want to say our divine purpose for being here at this time right now. And this is a beautiful thing, because this is where we want to take our world into. We want to shine our light into the world for others, so that they will also be able to understand where we're going and connect with that too.
Exactly. That's really powerful. And so for Avalon, this was a magical time, where we had our connection to fairies and gnomes and to Mother Earth. And, being able to visit the actual crop circle sites is going to be an incredible experience. What do you say to someone who's not too familiar with Avalon and, and it's, the mysteries of Avalon? What would you say to them in terms of what are some of the mysteries that are held there that, they could be connecting with?
Well, I really think that pretty much most people know of King Arthur and Merlin and the story of how Merlin helped King Arthur pull the sword from the stone. So you might say to yourself, oh, that's just a story. Yes, but stories, they carry a high frequency of information. And if it speaks to you or you're intrigued by it, that's enough to hear the calling, to pull away the veil through the mist of Avalon and go in and search what does it want to share with you. It's very intriguing. It's from my understanding, Glastonbury is a gateway to other worlds. And so we never know what you're going to experience when you walk into a sacred place. So, for example, when I was up in Peru at Aramu Maru, I walked into this portal that was there, and it was just a stone carving. But when I stood at that gateway, it opened for me, different than it opened for anybody else in our group that we had brought. And there were like 30 of us. So we were all different. And I had 3 light beings show up to me and ask me if I wanted to go with them. So, and then they began to show me what really love and light really is. And I had the experience of what that is. And, we can talk about that, but until you've experienced it at this incredible high level of frequency, there's no words to describe it. And so what I'm trying to say is that until you walk in, you really don't know what you're going to have as an experience. So if you hear spirit just kind of uttering that little bit of tickle in your ear, maybe it's something you want to walk into and find out and explore. What is the magic and mystery that's held there for you? Because I'm sure you are connected to some time of that time.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. And that's a time that so many of us are connected to, but we think of it as legend or fairy tales. And this is our opportunity to step into what that experience really means for us as a true experience, a multidimensional experience that we've had.
Yeah, you could even walk into a past life that could suddenly and spontaneously open for you. And I'm hoping that that will, through our particular journey work and that we'll be doing, you could walk into Stonehenge and suddenly go back to that time and see yourself in that time. And what does that have to share with you that has to do with your current time today? In other words, when we go back into other times, we're not going back to all of our times. We're going back to that which is activated that has to do with your current time today. So only you will know that when you find that out at that time. And that's the mystery. But that's the great revelation that occurs at that moment. So it's spontaneous and super exciting.
Very exciting, very exciting. And so from Glastonbury, we go to southern France, and then being able to really connect with Mary Magdalene in this profound way, which I think, like you're mentioning, is so important for this time, just because her stories have really been hidden and repressed from us for centuries at this point. And it's now our opportunity to begin reconnecting to her and what the divine feminine truly means. So what can, how can people think about this trip if they're not that familiar with these stories about Mary Magdalene, and they're more familiar with the traditional stories that we've heard? What is going to be uncovered for us?
Well, and that's waiting to be revealed. But there is truth. But the truth is going to be different depending on where you are in your understanding and what you're able to absorb. So, as I said before, there are a lot of distortions back of that time, that era, and that story of Yeshua and Magdalene. And she was thought of as a prostitute and not given her proper position. And even the apostles knew that she was different because of the way Jesus was connected to her. And there's phrases in the Bible and different the Gnostics talk about it, and there's all different information that is out there about this, how it is very different through this distortion of the story. But there's also a place that we're going to connect to, which is the Black Madonna, and that which that has to reveal to each individual also. So what is that? Because it's going to be different for everybody what the Black Madonna reveals for us, and there's also a ceremony that happens every year. And so there's a specific place that's held for the Black Madonna, and we will also be going there too. And that's going to be rich because I think that's a time of mirroring something for each one of us. Maybe that's also a distortion about ourselves that we need to hear, that will help us know better who we truly are in this time right now. So there's a lot of codes there. We'll be going to chapels and the abbeys, and there are codes that are held in the stained glass and the different pieces, relics that are there. But what are they really saying to everybody? And that's what we're going to uncover while we're there. This is going to expose a lot. And it's sort of like, I want to say, a dismemberment of the old and a coming into a rebirth of the new for all of us. So very exciting.
Wow, it is very exciting. And so this is really, once in a lifetime experience for people to really visit these mystical holy lands and have these profound, in-depth personal experiences, because it's not just like a tour. This is an actual retreat where people will be going into meditation, going into journey, and then connecting with the parts of themselves that are waiting to be revealed.
Yes, definitely. Absolutely. It's not just your average ordinary retreat, we'll say. And I'll add that we'll also be going to Lourdes. And if you've never really understood what Lourdes is about, this is where Mother Mary appeared to a young girl, a little girl, Bernadette, and asked her to build a church there, that this was a very, very sacred site. And as I've spoken to Mother Mary, she says to me, if only you knew how much you are loved. That sets something in my heart. It speaks to me, and I hope it speaks to others too. If we really only knew how much we were loved, that is so incredible, just to allow that beautiful experience to come into our heart. And then this young girl, she builds a church there. And so at Lourdes, we will have the opportunity to immerse ourselves in the sacred water, which for over 150 years, people have had healings here. People have gone in wheelchairs and walked away. I mean, that really speaks volumes to me. I want to go see this place, right? I want to feel that energy. I want to hear Mother Mary speak her words, her wisdom to me, to others. And then we will do the evening procession through the grotto of the apparitions. And so that's a beautiful evening ceremony where everybody carries a candle and we sing in the light, and it brings forth, people from all walks over the earth, everywhere. So that is an amazing gathering when people come together and their prayers are being heard by the cosmos, that's powerful. So we'll end up there in France, and you will go home never the same person again.
Exactly. It'll be a truly transformative experience, from
Mhm.
Glastonbury to southern France, exploring all of the ancient sites of Avalon, Stonehenge, the crop circles, and then coming to France and visiting all of these ancient places, holy places, receiving the codes and ending Lords. It just sounds like a completely magical journey, Lori, and I'm sure it will be.
Oh, I'm sure it will be. And the thing is, this is the great mystery, is that you can set it in a certain way. And I have set an itinerary, and it's a beautiful itinerary. We're going to go to some very special places and see some most gorgeous countryside and landscape, and just get to immerse ourselves in the culture in that. But beyond that, just be open to the mystery, because that's the really great part of the whole experience, is that it's spontaneous and what is happening for you at every given moment. So to be the great observer of yourself and explore what is activating inside of you. Wow. I just, there's no words to describe what it can offer for you. But I know we'll walk in different than we will walk out, for sure. And I might just add that if people are interested in coming to Glastonbury, there is the Portal to Ascension conference prior to that. And what I'd like to offer is a ticket for you to go to the Portal to Ascension conference. So you will get that if you do come along on the Glastonbury trip. So
Okay, wonderful. So that's also a great incentive for those of you who are considering the Glastonbury trip, know that another bonus is to be able to attend the incredible Portal to Ascension conference that'll be happening there, and has amazing consciousness and spiritual speakers, teachers, ceremony. So that'll also be a great event for people to be able to attend. So Lori, well, this is amazing. I'm sure everyone who's been watching and listening are just completely overwhelmed with the, opportunity for transformation that is available to all of us through your retreat. So I'm really excited to be learning more about this. And I'm sure so is everyone else. And for everyone watching, you can connect with Lori and learn more about her retreats at her website, wellnesswithin.net. Also, you can find her on Soul Search and connect with her on there. And she has a beautiful, detailed itinerary on her website for both retreats, and you can attend one or both together. So it's an incredible opportunity for transformation and really going deep within and connecting to, so many parts of ourselves, and just remembrance and reawakening. So thank you so much, Lori, for putting this incredible opportunity together for everyone.
Well, thank you for this opportunity and for the intention for going out and opening us all to the opportunity and the great realization, the self-realization that is coming.
Yes.
Thank you.
We're all doing this together. So thank you, Lori. Thank you all for tuning in, and definitely dive in deeper into the retreat. You can check out the details on Lori's website. And if you have questions, you can connect with her to find out more. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.